What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full longest neck Pokemon team. Now, I did this team 6 years ago, and since then, there's been some substantial changes that I could make, or some new Pokemon. So, some Pokemon like the Raging Bolt in the game, and you've got stuff like Farigiraf, and Alolan and Exeggutor, a couple of those sort of Pokemon I thought I'd include in this team. Now, last time I did it 6 years ago, so the Pokemon were not all the difference, but maybe at least half the team here. Now, unintentionally, today's video is actually really long. It's like over an hour, so I'm spoiling you guys today with the Pip Night special here. This is probably the longest theme I've ever done, so it sort of just turned out that way. So really hope you enjoy it. Hit that like button, and let's get into it. So our first random battle here we have, this is on the Poke Portal. I had a ton of these here. We have a Galvantula lead. This is a battle against Furfuree. I don't know how to say that name. It sounds French, I think. Could be wrong about that. So they got a Alolan Mutt coming in here. So this Raging Bolt set is a Pip Night special. We've got Zap Cannon, Twister, and we got Calm Mind on there too to boost up that big special attack and substitute. This is going to be max special attack, modest nature, 96 in health, and 160 in speed. So it's got blunder policy, so hopefully Zap Cannon can miss, and make it super fast, and then we can get some W's with Twister and flinch the opponent. So I went for a Twister KO there on the Alola Muck, and it was a disaster. It didn't faint, but it's going to be a double feint here because, I could have gone for a Zap Cannon, but let's be real, it was probably going to miss, right? So that is the end of Muck, which is good, as Muck's quite a bulky Pokemon, quite bulky indeed. So that's also going to be into my Raging Bolt 2 to the poison damage. Now, I'm thinking here, there's one Pokemon on the team that was a really big problem, but I had somewhat answer to it with Alolan Exeggutor. Now, I know there's a couple of other really long neck Pokemon out there. Let me know if you can think of any other ones. Put it below in the comment section. And you know what? Tell me what your favorite long neck Pokemon is. I'd love to hear it there. Or any other comments, people. I love to read my comments, so please put a comment below. Hit that like button. Slap it in there. All right, so we've got a Moltres here. This is a direct counter to my team. Very difficult to get around, and I'm thinking here, I've only got one choice if I want to stay in this battle. I need to go for a Terrafire here. So this is kind of, well, it really was a backbone to my team for a lot of its weaknesses, and also was a good sweeper too. So I figured Moltres would either go for a fire move, a flying move, or sort of scout or U-turn, the typical sort of Moltres set. So that's a U-turn, and in comes the Gardevoir. Now, this Exeggutor is a Trick Room set, and it's actually a physical Trick Room set. So I thought it'd be fun to give it a couple of the hammer moves. So we've got Dragon Hammer, Wood Hammer, and Terra Blast. The cool thing about Terra Blast too is I can disguise it as a special move if I used it initially. So Gardevoir is going to get a cheeks clap there, which is a nice start to the battle, and we've got the Moltres coming back in. Now, this Exeggutor can at least resist the fire move, and whether it be Fire Blast or Flamethrower, and it can resist the U-turn. So I thought, I'll go for Dragon Hammer and see how much it does, right? So it didn't do a very big amount. So Moltres, interestingly enough, has got Scorching Sands, which does a little bit of damage, but Exeggutor is going to be able to live that very well. And I've got Harvest and Citrus Berry as well. So this was quite a good Pokemon there. A nice sweeping Pokemon and a lot of sustain, which made it a great Pokemon in the team. So Moltres was doing a pretty good amount of damage there with Scorching Sands. So I thought, I cannot lose Exeggutor right now. There's no way I can lose it because I'm cooked, literally. So I thought, I've got a Pokemon on our team that I can swap in, and I might be able to get around this Moltres a little bit. So I went into Tropius. Now, Tropius, I was expecting the Scorching Sands, and they went for Roost instead, so they're going to try to stall me here. So this Moltres stalled me the whole freaking battle, right? And so with Tropius, this is a D-Dance set. I can't do a lot to it outside of Fly, and I know that it's going to have some sort of Fire-type move. So Tropius is not going to be in a healthy spot if it does get hit by that. So the Tropius was 252 in attack and speed, and Jolly Nature. Also a Citrus and Harvest ability set there, and Terra Grass with the Leaf Blade. So I did a double take back into Exeggutor, figuring they'd probably try and go for a fire move or the U-turn again, and they did exactly what I thought, and Moltres is going to be gone. So this is going to give my Exeggutor a chance to get another Citrus Berry through with Harvest, and I did get one, which is really cool. So Galvantra's not going to pose that much of a threat anymore, unless it lands like a Thunder and paralyzes me, that's about it. But I figured they'd probably just running a standard Focus Sash Sticky Web set, right? So Galvantra's going to go for the Thunder Wave first, and that's going to be not really that much of a problem during Trick Room, but maybe I might find I'll get paralyzed down the line. That was also the issue there. I think that's what they were going for. So I'm going to be harvesting some more berries here. These berries are very nice, and now I can go for the Terra Blast Fire. So Terra Blast Fire obviously is going to take it out one shot, but they got that Focus Sash. This Galvantra is, why is this called Red Hot Chili Peppers? Am I missing something? Like, I know it's named after a band, but I don't know. I wasn't really, right into I wasn't into their music that much, but I don't know. Maybe it's a throwback to a song or something like that. I'm sure someone will know. Anyway, Galvantra is going to be swapping out there, and Moltres is going to be coming back in. Moltres is sort of the only poke. It's funny because most of their team can't swap into this Exeggutor now. Like, Moltres is literally the only Pokemon that's keeping them in the battle at the moment. So I've got Wood Hammer, I've got Dragon Hammer, and that Dragon Hammer is really my only option there. Now, I found Wood Hammer is pretty good at dealing lots of damage and getting my Citrus Berry and Harvest activate. So they had a run at trying to go for Overheat there. And Overheat is actually good for me because that means, it's a powerful move, sure, but that means after they use it, they're going to have to swap, right? Or they're going to use U-turn. So Exeggutor takes that really well. Then I thought, you know what? Since I've got a -2 in special attack, let's try and swap in Farigiraf here. So Farigiraf is a pretty fun set, and Moltres is going to stall with Roostigan. So they're doing absolutely everything they can to hold on to this Moltres, right? So this Farigiraf is a Trick Room Hyper Beam Future Sight nasty plot set, only on Pibdice channel here. So we're going to go for that Future Sight, and hopefully Moltres' future is not going to be bright. And now we've got the Moltres going for a U-turn. I'm not sure. This might be some sort of theme team. I have no idea. We got Lapras coming in here, so I have a pretty good idea what this Lapras is going to do, but I thought I've got a good idea to work around it. So remember, I do have Future Sight up there, and the Lapras is going to go for Curse, which is a good idea because Trick Room is up, and Lapras is pretty bulky as well. So I thought I need to hit this with a special move, right? Because it's just going to increase its defenses with Curse. So with the Curse up, Lapras will be able to outspeed me under the Trick Room. Bright Powder was my item, a Bag of Salt, so it missed. So I actually got a Nasty Plot up here. So Nasty Plot is going to boost the power of that incoming Future Sight, and it hits Lapras real hard. So now I was like, okay, I have a good feeling what they're going to do here, right? So Lapras got that Leftovers as the item. I am going to get hit pretty hard by this attack too. So I've got Hyper Beam. I don't really want to use it at this point. I was like, maybe I could, or maybe I should just set the Future Sight up. So I was like, I'll set the Future Sight up, and that way, what I could do is I'm thinking right now, they're going to go for Earthquake, right? Go into Tropius for the flying type. Then they're going to go for an Ice Shard, right? Then I go back into an Exeggutor, completely stall out the Future Sight, and finish off Lapras. So those sort of 3 stages there went through my mind right about now, right? Because they weren't using any Ice moves or Water moves. I thought it'd be a good swap in for Tropius. So now they're definitely going to be inclined to go for an Ice move against Tropius because it's 4 times weak, right? And even if they get Leftovers recovery and stuff like that, I know that Farigiraf's Future Sight will take it out at that point. So a couple of swaps here, back into Exeggutor again, ready to go. I get a lot of swapping in this team. And then they went for the Ice Shard. So basically they took the bait there, and now they're going to Feign. So that's good. That's the end of Lapras, which was a good counter to my team too. These Pokemon, a lot of them were weak to you know, they're weak to like ice-type moves and stuff like that too. So next Pokemon, of course, is Moltres, which is holding their team together by a bit of string. And they're going to go for Scorching Sands. And I got Trick Room off there. I got pretty good luck here with Exeggutor in this battle. With the paralysis, I got some good luck for sure. So it kept the Exeggutor alive. I think if I didn't have Exeggutor, Moltres could just press the A button with Overheat, you know. So Exeggutor's got a little bit more health back, and I thought, I'm going to conserve that for now because I am in range to get fainted if it is a high roll. So I'll go into Meganium. So I use Meganium on my very, very first longest neck team. So if you want to go back and watch the original one as well, you should. I'll leave that in the, I'll leave that in the comment section too. Maybe I wonder what I used in there. That would be really cool to see. So in comes the Serena. This is a bulky Meganium, a pure physical attacker, and then they had Triple Axle. So they've got a Moltres, a Lapras, and a Triple Axle Pokemon, which are clean counters to my team. So I'm like, oh, this is difficult. Like, I've got past the Lapras. I haven't got past the Moltres, but I have to get past this. It's going to tear through my team. So I brought in Farigiraf here. I thought, all right, I've got Hyper Beam. I may as well just unload, right? So we're going to unload the full load, and it almost takes it out. Unfortunately, it did not, and Knockoff is going to finish off the Farigiraf. But I dealt a decisive hit there to Serena, right? We need to take this out. They can also see that I had Bright Powder as well. So bringing back Exeggutor, doesn't have much health here at all, but I got the edge, right? So I've got Dragon Hammer, I've got Terra Blast. I thought they're either going to have to go into Moltres here, expecting Terra Blast, or they're going to go into Galvantula and just sack it off, right? Because it's only got 1 health. So they brought back in the Galvantula. I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, that's good. That's very good. So now they're left with Moltres and Serena, but Serena doesn't have a lot of health, and Serena doesn't have any form of recovery. You know, as I know at the moment, right? It might, but I doubt it. So at this stage, they brought Serena back in. I've got that Terrifier. I know they can't mess around with, Triple Axle. Then they'd probably go Knockoff. So they went for the Knockoff there, and then I got paralyzed. So I finally got paralyzed, but I still can live another Knockoff pretty easy. So now they're going to swap out the Serena, and we've got Moltres coming in. So I knew there was a good chance they'd just swap Moltres in and try and Roost Stall me. And I was like, let's get Trick Room up again. That's going to be great. I need the Trick Room. So Trick Room is now up again, and Moltres is going to be going for Scorching Sands. I know that. I've got Tropius in the back to slide in, but maybe they'll predict that and go for an Overheat. And I don't want to lose Tropius because I may still need that for something. It's like, we got 3 minutes left. Let's see what happens. If they use Overheat, they do. So be it. Tropius can't do a lot to this stage unless it's Serena. So now they're going to go for the Scorching Sand. So pretty much in this battle, I don't think I missed a prediction. I think I got every prediction right, what they were going to do, right? So I've got Leaf Blade, I've got Fly. I thought I'll double take here because I'll go for Overheat or U-turn again. I know that's what they're going to do. And then Exeggutor will be lined up, maybe Serena, if they go for that. So they went for Overheat this time, which I did expect, and I'm able to live that, which is excellent. And now they've dropped their own special attack, which is great. So they're in a position where they're going to have to go for either U-turn or go for Overheat again. But that will be a forced swap into Serena then, and then Serena's obviously going to die. So 2 minutes of the battle left. I went for a Dragon Hammer, and they're going to go for a U-turn. U-turn did not faint me. It did not faint me, and Moltres is going to swap out. But they needed that swap, though, to get their special attack stat back. So in comes the Serena, and now I can outspeed here. But they're going to conserve that. They're trying to hold on to that desperately because they've only got 2 Pokeball left. And in comes the Moltres again. Moltres is going to have to take a Dragon Hammer again, and that's like a 4-hit KO. The Trick Room has now run out here. And look, I could let it go or swap into another Pokemon. I thought, I need to hold on to Exeggutor here because we've got 50 seconds left of the battle, you know. Because if I lose Exeggutor, then maybe they'll win then, you know, if they faint my next Pokemon. So I went into the Giraffe Freak here. They're going to go for U-turn again, which I did expect Girachi takes that kind of nasty, but I was able to live it. This is a flinching set here with Beat Up, and in comes the Serena. So 26 seconds left of the battle. I thought, I may as well just go for Zen Headbutt here. I've got nothing to lose. Zen Headbutt gonna land, and Killer Queen is gonna get killed. They had a Rocky helmet, so they had some sort of support set there. That's the last Pokemon remaining, which is Moltres. And I was in a position to try and flinch this Moltres too, but that's the end of the battle. I had 3 Pokemon left. I think I would have won that one if I went for a bit longer. I would have been able to, I feel with my prediction skills, I would have been able to eventually bait them into using an overheat, and then they wouldn't have done as much damage. But interesting battle there. Taking to my random opponent. Next random opponent we got, I think this is against, was it Amelia? And we got a Deoxys Speed lead using Taunt. So Deoxys Speed generally only does a couple of things when it's the first Pokemon. It has Taunt and sets up screens. So I thought this is a great opportunity to go for Beat Up on my Girachi. Now this Girachi set, as I mentioned before, is a Trailblaze Beat Up set. Now I've got no hope of outspeeding Deoxys Speed at all, but I do have a pretty good idea of outspeeding some of the other ones. So we got Beat Up, Trailblaze, Double Kick, Inner Focus as the item. So then they set up Gravity, but they don't understand the gravity of the situation, right? Because now my Zen Headbutts are going to be like landing all the time, right? So I got King's Rock, I got that Inner Focus, Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature. Out comes Pompadrapy, which is the, oh, I see, they're using Grab Apple. I was like, all right, that's fine, let's go for a Beat Up here. So we're going to beat that little apple up, and we're gonna turn this into an apple turnover. So I'm getting some good damage here because I'm going to have 6 guaranteed hits on Flapple, which is really, really good. This will definitely be a hustle grab apple set for sure. So I got a flinch, which is excellent, and I'm going to shake the Torn off, or just a Dragonette set, and then they salty cancel after seeing 1 flinch. What a baby. All right, so there you go. A nice little juicy salty crit there. Let's get on to battle number 3. All right, this is another random battle here. This is quite a long battle too. So we got a Jirachi lead, and this is my Blunder Policy Raging Bolt set. And this was mostly trash in a lot of the battles because a lot of the time I would get the Blunder Policy, or I would just never miss with Zap Cannon, and then I'd get outsped. Like, it was like a mixed bag. I just noticed something too, like Raging Bolt's tail looks exactly like Sticky Barb. So Jirachi is going to be dodging all the attacks that ever existed, and it's going to be firing off, it's a Calm Mind Shadow Ball set, so it seems to be pretty standard there, moveset. I was missing a lot of my attacks too. So Jirachi is freely setting up on me at the moment. It's like, this is not very good because Jirachi's got a lot of natural bulk. How am I going to get rid of this? Eventually, at last, I finally landed a Zap Cannon, so at least here, Jirachi is going to be a little bit slower, right? And Shadow Ball was doing donkeys as well, which tells me it was mostly invested into bulk. And I can see it's already got leftovers too, so it's, you know, not too much of a surprise there. So I thought, well, I ain't got a lot to lose here, but I better not just sack it against Jirachi. I might be able to make use of that terrible set later on. So we'll go into Jirachi. Now, this is kind of ironic. So I knew they'd go for a Shadow Ball there and swap in Jirachi. So I thought this would be pretty appropriate. So Jirachi is like the king of flinching and hacks, right? And I thought, how much of a good karma change will this be if I flinch and hacks to Jirachi with Beat Up? So firstly, we're going to go for a Trailblaze there because there's a couple of Pokemon on their team that might be able to outspeed me that isn't Jirachi, and they get paralyzed there. So I assume they've got a Psychic move, which will do a little bit, but it definitely won't one-shot me. And they've got Calm Mind. So that's most of their moveset. I pretty much know what they're going to do. So I've got Beat Up. I'm going to land 6 Beat Ups here and see what's going to happen. Plus the Paralysis, which will, you know, be pretty tough for Jirachi to actually get an attack off here, which is super nice. So I'm going for the Beat Ups. I'm actually getting some really good damage here. No one expected the Jirachi Beat Up set either, which is really fun. So I got a flinch there, which is beautiful. And now, like, sweet, Jirachi can faint here, unless they're going to do a salty swap, because I don't want to lose the Jirachi, you know. So there's the swap. I think I'm battling someone called Kirby, too. They spelled Kirby in an interesting way. It's like Kirby. Next Pokemon is a Namara. So this team was no joke, by the way. This was like, it was like a lot of mythical Pokemon that had really like strong abilities and stuff. So Enamorus obviously is going to take no damage at all to the Girafarig set. I was like, well, I've got Zen Headbutt. That'll do some alright damage, but I don't know what sort of set it is. Is it a contrary set? Like, what is it going to be? Is it mixed attacker? So I'm going to go for Zen Headbutt. Hopefully it'll do some good damage. Great damage there, but they have got a superpower set. So superpower is going to increase the attack and defense because it has the contrary ability. So I really need a flinch here. I thought about going for beat up. I was like, nah, I'll go for raw damage. And it just lived on 1 health. So superpower allowed it to live that second hit there. But really good. Look how well that Girafarig did. Virtually, it would have beaten Jirachi easy and almost took out the Enamorus too. So I was thinking to myself, all right, it's got 1 health left. Let's go on to Tropius. Tropius at least can resist superpower. And I might be able to see what other moves they've got. I've used Enamorus a lot, so I sort of know what its physical moves are. They're quite limited. I was like, they've probably got like maybe Play Rough, but they had Mystical Fire, so it was a mixed set there. So Tropius is going to take some nasty damage from Mystical Fire, but I've got that Harvest and Citrus Berry. I just went for a Leaf Blade there just to take it out. A little bit of disrespect as well. And in fact, I couldn't use much. I mean, I wasn't going to go for Fly because they'd probably swap out or something like that. So next Pokemon is Majana. So another very scary, powerful Pokemon. I'm pretty much walled except for Earthquake, and I didn't really want, I was like, should I go for the D-Dance here? Or are they just gonna like one-shot me and get a Soul Heart, you know? So I went for Earthquake to get some damage. Good, really good damage there. I was really happy with that, because it's got some good natural bulk to it. So Flash Cannon does not faint me, and Tropius gets a Harvest here, the GOAT. So it's going to be eating that berry. So between Exeggutor, Alola, and Tropius, there was a lot of berries consumed in today's video. So going for Earthquake again, I figured it wouldn't faint it, but it'd get very, very close, and it did, which is cool. So Majana's going to go for a second Flash Cannon, and that's the end of Tropius. But I was very happy with that trade-off there. You know, because this thing, if it did have Shift Gear, which I wasn't 100% sure, that could be problematic. So swapping into Meganium now, this is an Assault Vest of Meganium, and it did well in a lot of battles. It really, really did. Like Max Attack and Max Health and Max Attack, EVs for Meganium. And I also had Assault Vest, Overgrow, Terra Ground, too. So I'm going to go for a Petal Blizzard. I don't want to show any of my moves off there. I want to keep them hidden. So that's the end of Majana. So good. If Tropius comes in, if Jirachi comes back in, I can go for Earthquake, which they did. So in comes Mew here. Now I thought about maybe I could go for a knockoff on Mew, but I wanted to see what move Mew would actually use. And now it's going to be a Terra Mew. So I'm not amused here. Like, I wonder what this set's going to be. Is it going to be something super effective against Meganium? It probably is, right? Because that's why they tear it. And it's going to be Terra Bug. So straight away, I was like, yeah. Usually when people run Terra Bug on Mew, they'll go Sword Dance and Leech Life, right? So this is bad because this is a good set. This is definitely a very powerful set. Very competitive, and Psychic Fangs is going to faint me too. So Psychic Fangs and Leech Life and Sword Dance and some other coverage moves. I'm like, man, I got to bait them, right? So I got to throw the bait out there and make them go for a Leech Life and try and faint them with Exeggutor. But first, what I need to do to stay in this battle without losing, right, instantly, is to go for a Trickery Mew. I need some speed control, and I need to get around some of these other Pokemon that are remaining. And I got to get around this Mew too. So Mew has got a lot of natural bulk to it, so I absolutely did not expect the Terra Fire to one-shot. Absolutely not. So we got that Leech Life there, which is awesome. I tanked that very, very easily. So now I know they're definitely going to go for Psychic Fangs. But Exeggutor is max health and max special attack, Quiet Nature. So I believed I could live one and then maybe get a Citrus Berry Harvest, and hopefully by that time I could take it out. So the first hit did a little bit less than what I thought. I was like, man, was that minimum damage, or they got some extra bulk there on this Mew that I wasn't expecting? I was really hoping that I got minimum damage. That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe I got minimum damage. I mean, I have to attack this anyway because it's a mega counter to my team, right? So I got lots of berries there, so half of my health back there, but I don't want to take another Psychic Fangs, right? So we got another Terra Blast on the Mew, and that actually took it out. So I think I got a min and then a max. So that was enough to take out the Mew. Thank goodness. That was very, very scary. So there's a Jirachi left, which can't really do too much. and there's 2 other Pokemon. So now we got Meloetta. I thought, oh, this is good. They don't know that I've got a physical set because I disguised it with Terra Blast, see? So I went for a Wood Hammer. I was like, this is going to do really good damage. And Meloetta does live that one pretty well. It does have some bulk about it. And they're going to go for Hyper Voice. So Hyper Voice is going to faint me. So this might be like, oh, this might be a Throat Spray set with a special attack boost. Meloetta's got a lot of special attack. I think that it was a Throat Spray set. Actually, no, it wasn't. It didn't activate. So sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I must have cut it out last time, but that definitely wasn't a Throat Spray set. So I went for the knockoff. We get to see now. It was the set. I think it was Assault Vest. This was an Assault Vested Meloetta, right? Yeah, it was an Assault Vested one because it didn't get the show up there. So that's the end of Meloetta, which is nice. And in comes Manaphy. Manaphy is going to be a massive threat here because I know they're just going to run a standard Tail Glow set. And I was like, yeah, even with Meganium's bulk, I built on it. And Assault Vest, there's no way I'm going to live an Ice Beam. It's going to be nasty, right? So, thankfully, Meloetta didn't have, like, weakness policy or anything like that. It's got leftovers, but still a huge, huge threat. I've got Petal Blizzard, but I'm going to get outspared and Meganium's going to go down there. So, I've got one more Pokeball left, which is the Raging Bolt. And that's, yeah, Raging Bolt's the last Pokemon that I've got left. And, Farigiraf is. Farigiraf is. So, this Farigiraf set was it was terrible, right? The problem for them is I have to go for Hyper Beam here. I can't go for Future Sight, otherwise I'm going to faint. So they were very, very lucky here that I had to go for Hyper Beam because I'm like, damn, that's going to be rough against that, against that Jirachi because then I might have to take a hit or something like that. But firstly, I needed to adjust the speed, right? So I know that I can easily feint this with Hyper Beam. That's no worries at all, but I've got Future Sight after that, plus I'm going to be recharging, right? So I'm going to need a Paralyze on the Jirachi. So that's the end of that Manaphy there. So I was like, please give me a Paralyze here. So I don't have to recharge, why it actually is attacking right. So here comes a Psyshock. Like, yeah, I might just live that one, and I did, which is good. And I've got to recharge this then, right? Okay, here we go. What do I do here? Do I go for Future Sight and then Hyper Beam? I think that'd be my best idea because at least that's 2 attacks then. Like I said, very lucky that I just didn't have a normal attack because, I was all ready to sweep the rest of the team here. So I'll go for Nasty Plot there. I'll go for Nasty Plot Hyper Beam, but unfortunately they did not get paralyzed at all. And they got a bit of a sympathy win there at the end, but still a really good battle there. But definitely if I had a normal moveset, I would have beaten that Jirachi, no worries. Thank you, Kirby, for the battle. I think it's Kirby for the random battle. Let's get on to battle number 4, I think it is. Battle number 4. All right, yeah, this is a battle against Paulino. Lots of random battles I had with this team. Tons of them. Now, if you're enjoying the video so far, we're almost half an hour in. Hit that like button, everyone. Give us some support on the channel, and let's get some W's, right? So, Tickaton's going to go for a knockoff, getting rid of Farigiraf's Bright Powder, which sucks because it was nice getting a little miss here and there. Sometimes it was useful for, putting a Trick Room up when I was going to faint. So this isn't the greatest matchup because I've got Hyper Beam and Future Sight, which is, it was all part of the challenge, right? And I thought I'll go into Meganium. Meganium has got Earthquake. However, we got the Tickaton swapping out, and we have the next Pokemon coming in, which is going to be Belly Bolt. It's like, oh, that's good. I can still hit that with Earthquake. That's fine. And they probably won't expect that. But first things first, I was like, let's go for knockoff and get rid of their item. Because this can be, like, annoying. It could be, like, leftovers and stuff like that. Or, sometimes then Assault Vest ones, Citrus Berry. So I got rid of leftovers. A good item to get rid of. So I was like, let's go for an Earthquake here. So Belly Bolt's going to go for a Volt Switch. And that's fine, though. I know I can take Belly Bolt down as long as I don't give it any health recovery if it has like parabolic charge or whatever. So they brought this Slowking into an Earthquake, which is excellent. So now it's like, I bet they're just going to swap out and get regenerated again. They did so many swaps. Like, this person swapped 1,000,000 times to try and hold on to their Pokemon. Like, it was crazy. You'll get to see. So next Pokemon is going to be Corviknight, and I can't do much to Corviknight. I've really only got one option here to take this out. It's like Exeggutor or Alola, right? That's it. And Exeggutor or Alola would be able to deal with like Tinkaton and things like that too. So I got rid of the item, which was Rocky Helmet, and they're going to, I was like, well, they're probably going to attack me with Brave Bird or try and set up on me. So they went for Brave Bird, and Meganium went down, which wasn't much of a surprise there. But that's all good. That was fine. I got rid of a few items, did some good damage there. So we're going to bring an Exeggutor. The time is right to send this in. So I can go for a Trick Room. I know that I can leave a Brave Bird, easy peasy, or are they going to go for a Roost here? So they stalled a lot in this battle between the Corviknight and the Regenerators from the Slowking there. They stalled like crazy, right? So I've got that Trick Room up here, and now I can go for Terra Blast Fire. Will it take it out in one shot? Absolutely not, but it'll really, really force them to have to lose a Pokemon at that stage, because then they'll have to be like, oh, I'll lose Corviknight, or I've got to swap another Pokemon in, something like that. So that's what I was going for. Plus, I didn't have a lot to hit Corviknight anyway, right? It was a great counter to my team. So here we go, Terra Blast Fire, hoping for a massive crit, and good damage there. It's a clean 2-hit KO. They're going to go for a Brave Bird now, which is even better. Unfortunately, they didn't pop my Citrus Berry. They just missed it. So at this stage, do they want to hold on to Corviknight? They didn't want to lose a Pokemon, man. They did not. Like, they were holding on to every little advantage they could get against this team. So then they brought in the Belly Bolt, which was like, okay, well, you've now sacrificed nearly 2 Pokemon. So, but the reason they held on to Corviknight so long, because it was such an easy counter to my team. So they just wanted to swap that in and press Roost and get an easy win. I know it, right? So now they're going to swap Belly Bolt out. They just don't want, they cannot possibly lose a Pokemon. And then back into Slowking. So I guess they're doing this to see what moves I've got as well. But I went for Wood Hammer, and with that I can get the Citrus Berry and Harvest. So it's fine. Like, this is good. This Exeggutor is handling their team really, really well. Once I lose Exeggutor, the rest of their Pokemon can, probably easily outstall me, right? So I need to make sure I get rid of Slowbro and Corviknight. That seems to be their really, like, core-based Pokemon that they're, like, relying on. And speaking of which, we got a Garganacl. Look how stally this team is, bro. Like, look at this. Bellybolt, Galaran, Slowking, Corviknight, and we got Minecraft as well. So some thick Pokemon here, like mega stall. So I've got Wood Hammer for this, which I thought would do great damage, but I'm thinking they're probably just going to spam Recover, right? Because they've spammed it on Corviknight and Roost, and they've spammed Regenerator as Slowking. So you know what they're going to do already. So since they used Salt Cure, I thought, that's a good move against me, but it's not going to solve the problem of my Exeggutor, because I can outstall Salt Cure with just my passive ability, right? With Harvest. So I'm going for Wood Hammer's really, really good damage on Garganacl there. And the thing is, too, with Wood Hammer, I can just activate my berry right away. As long as I get the Harvest, that's the thing. If I don't get the Harvest, things aren't too hot there. So some more salt damage on the Exeggutor. And we're going to harvest up them berries again, ready to fire some more Wood Hammers. So I thought, well, they know they're going to faint to this turn, to Wood Hammer. What are they going to swap in? Tinkaton? Slowking, I don't think they'll swap in Corviknight. Then they started spamming Recover. I'm like, oh my God. So, man, this was a stally-ass team. So, they're going to make me wait the entire 20 minutes. I was like, this is definitely going to be a 20-minute battle. Like, no cap, right? So, but I was determined, right, to get through their stalling. I was determined just to keep attacking them over and over again and hopefully break. Once I feel like I broke the Galaran, Slowking, and Corviknight sort of core, I could probably get around the Garganacl, because I did have a few grass Pokemon and stuff like that. I lost Meganium though, which sucked. So here I'm just hammering away here with Dragon Hammer. So I had a feeling they'd do a little swap there, and I was like, let's go for the Dragon Hammer again. I feel like they're going to go back into that Slowking, but they went into Belly Bolt. So Belly Bolt easily was the most expendable Pokemon on the team. That was never a problem to get around. I think they just did that to stall out the Trick Room as well. They're going to bring back in their Minecraft mons. So it's like, all right, well, here, let's go for Wood Hammer again. So going for Wood Hammer, dropped. So that's another stalling Pokemon gone. So I'm starting to get through them, but the main core still exists, which is, a Slowking and Corviknight. Next Pokemon is going to be Tinkaton. So Tinkaton is going to be able to hit me pretty hard here. And I was like, they may even Terra as well. So as I thought that, they went for the Terra. Like, this is going to be Terra Fairy, I'm guessing. So yeah, they got that Terra Fairy, which is, quite typical on Tinkaton, like a standard. I mean, they were running standard sets, so it was pretty easy to predict what they were going to do. I'm going to go for Terra Blast here. At least that's going to be neutral, but, Tinkaton's got some good special defense. And now they're going to set up a Sword Dance. So it's just a Sword Dance set, so it's probably got like Play Rough, Sword Dance, Gigaton Hammer, with the other moves knockoff. So, standard Tinkaton set. So I am taking some damage here, but I am getting some harvest back here. I was getting some good harvest luck there for sure, getting my berries. But it made it interesting because if I didn't have that, this would probably already be over, right? So I've got Wood Hammer and I've got Terra Blast. Let's go for Wood Hammer. This will do really, really good damage, right? And it took it out, which is excellent. So that is very, very good. Tickathon's defense isn't as good as special defense as well. So that was solid. So Tickathon is their options now are starting to wither away. They've only really got one attacking Pokemon, this Flygon, and then they've got like this stalling Pokemon left there. Now, Flygon's going to be a bit of a problem here because I know that it's going to have Earthquake. So I thought a good swap in here would be to go into Tropius, right? Because that'll get around the Earthquake if they're going to use it. But they may set up on me. I'm not 100% sure. So they're going to go for Draco Meteor instead. So it's a special set. But it sort of lacked the oomph. I was like, that might be mixed. Because I know Pokemon damage calcs, right? That should have done a lot more damage than that. So I'm like, I have a feeling that's mixed. A mix special attack and physical. So then they use Boom Burst. Like, has this got a throat spray? But it didn't. It didn't have throat spray. Then he used Earthquake. I knew it from the damage that it was mixed. I could tell straight away. So Farigiraf just lives that one. It's thick as a brick, and I can get Trick Room up. So I can now have the advantage here. Like, I go for Hyper Beam. I go for Future Sight. Hyper Beam will do a lot of damage to that Slowking coming in. That'll be a really, really good thing to get rid of it. So it's almost back to full health here. Hyper Beam misses. I'm like, that sucks. But it happens, right? You know, move misses all the time. So I was thinking, do I just go for it again and let them faint me? Or are they going to try and swap into Corviknight? They're going to go for the Chilly Reception, which is interesting. And they're going to tell a really bad joke here. Should I tell a really bad joke? I don't think there's going to be no way out of it. Oh, I just did anyway. So rate that one 10 out of 10. So next Pokemon to come is going to be Corviknight. And I went for the Future Sight. Now, that Corviknight would have definitely died to Hyper Beam. No worries. Absolutely no worries. But I've got the Future Sight up, which is really, really good. So I thought what I'll do here is I'll go for Hyper Beam. They swap Corviknight again. They probably thought, I'll try and get a Roost later on. So the Pokemon to come in is going to be Slowking. So now Slowking's going to have to take the full load and a Future Sight. That does great damage. And now with Farigiraf at this stage is like expendable, right? I don't need it. Now they're going to go for Toxic. So they've got Toxic, they've got Chilly Reception. I'd say they must have Psychic or Sludge Bomb or something like that. But they're going to take the Future Sight attack and that's going to drop them, right? So that's excellent. So that's their core gone there. So now they've only got Corviknight on a small amount of health. We know what sort of set it is, just a standard one. And we've got a mixed Flygon, which is going to struggle a lot with damage output. Especially if it has to go for Draco Meteor. So the Trick Room is gone. And I'm going to bring back in the Exeggutor here. So I thought, I want to see if I can live an Earthquake from Flygon. Have they got max attack or have they split it up with the special attack? Because the special attack didn't do hardly anything at all. So I thought about this for a long time. Like, I'm going to go for Dragon Hammer. Let's give it a try. I don't want to stall, right? And then they feign me with Earthquake. So like, all right, fair enough. They took out my Exeggutor, but what an absolute beast there. I pretty much nearly swept their entire team with it. So we're going to bring in Giraffrig now. Now, this Giraffrig was a Trailblaze set. And I figured if I got one Trailblaze up, I could go for Zen Headbutt. But I outsped it, like, oh, okay. Okay, this is interesting. So it's not max speed Flygon. Now they're going to go for Draco Meteor on Giraffrig. I lived that one pretty well, so I know they're going to go for Earthquake after this. The snow is going to stop. I can go for a Zen Headbutt here, and that does really, really good damage, and they're going to go for Boom Burst. And that actually took me out with a lucky crit there. So they were lucky to feint me because that definitely would have fainted, right, after Draco Meteor. So now things are starting to get a bit tidier. Like, I've only got 2 Pokemon left, but I've got Tropius, right? Tropius can get me the dub because they're going to have to go for a special move, right? That did nothing. I've got the Citrus Berry activation with Harvest, and now I can get the free Dragon Dance up here and finish off the Flygon with Leaf Blade and outspeed the Corviknight as well, which only has a little bit of health. So I've got that Dragon Dance going, which is really, really cool. And now the Flygon is going to die to Leaf Blade. There's nothing you can do. It's going to faint. And that is in a Flygonada. Is that actually its name? I don't know, is it French or German? Lots Pokemon's Corviknight. After all this time, like, finally, I deserve this win after all the swapping and stuff they put me through. And then they solely cancel the last move. Like, bro, come on. That was a good battle. Why did you have to cancel on the last turn? That was, I don't know. I feel like that's being a bad sport, right? You could have just waited around. Like, that was a good battle. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's go on to the next one here. We got another random battle, and we got a Cleaver lead. So this isn't a very fun lead for any of my Pokemon. So I thought I'd be a smarty and go for a Dragonette here. Like, let's hope that it misses, right? I don't really want to swap anything. I'm just gonna sack it off if it lands. So they went for Stone Axe there. A lot of people would go for like Stealth Rocks against this team too that I found. So Tropius is down. So not exactly the greatest start to the battle there. Really not a good start. I did weigh up my options, and I thought Tropius was the most expendable for this battle. So I'm going to bring in Raging Bolt here. I thought maybe I can get Zap Cannon off and get this going. Then I went first with Zap Cannon, which really confused me because Cleaver should have outsped me there, like, easily, because I wasn't running, like, lots of speed EVs. I don't know. I was only running, like, 160 speed. So then they brought in their Iron Valiant here. So clearly they're just going to press A and Moonblast me, but I thought if I could get one Zap Cannon off here and it lands, that actually will take them out because this thing's special defense is, you know, horrendous, right? So here comes the Moonblast. I do live that, but they got a special attack drop. But I was still like, that's still got to do a lot of damage if it lands. And it did, and Iron Valiant gets dropped. So this is a pretty handy little start to the battle there. After that very, very weak start with Tropius. So Zekrom's going to come in, but I can't do anything to Zekrom at all, right? I thought, let's go for a Twister flinch here. So I'm going to outspeed. Twister does actually a really, really good amount of damage, but I didn't get a flinch there, which sucks. I think without a special attack drop, I would have done like nearly 3/4 of that. So we're going to bring in Meganium now. I've got Earthquake on this set. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take this out. I'm ready to take a sip of G Fuel too. I need my voice is starting to go. Okay, I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there for the content and for you guys, giving you guys that extra long video, right? On this long neck video team. So Zekrom is going to faint, which is really good, and out comes Petrium. Now, this caused me a lot of problems. So when I was doing this, right, I didn't notice that it had an air balloon because I actually did this battle. I was laying in bed and I did this battle, and I looked away at something when it came out. Like, oh, it's a Petra. I'll go for Terra Ground Earthquake. But I didn't know there was an air balloon on it. So this sucked, right? Because this turn I actually wasted that turn. So then they're going to go for a Malignant Shape, which I knew they'd go for, and I resisted it, right? And they got a Poison. So that means Poison Puppeteer is going to activate. What Poison Puppeteer does, if you get poisoned by Petrian, it automatically confuses you. Pretty annoying like ability to face, actually, if you do get poisoned there. So I got confused here and I went for Earthquake and it had the air balloon, right, which sucked. I was like, oh, I was kicking myself because they had a pretty good Pokemon here to counter my team and stall me, right? So I'm like, I've got to fight this, right? So they're going to go for Nasty Plot. They're setting up against me. And I was kicking myself, like, damn it, I could have fainted this by now. I could have been going for an Earthquake this turn. So I went for Knockoff, great damage there, but the damage I did to them told me that it's a pure sweeping set. It's definitely not a super defensive set. Also, Nasty Plot told me that too. So I've got Earthquake. They're going to use Shadow Ball, but I was like, I've got to solve this. I might badly live this, and I did. That was really, really good. And Meganium, even after giving up a turn to Air Balloon, was able to clap them Petrant cheeks there. So Petran's going to be fainting into a pool of mochis, you know. So things are going excellent in this battle. Really, really good. Meganium was the GOAT. Like, really, really helped me out there getting rid of that Mega Cannon on my team. So bye-bye, but they haven't terrored yet. So there was that too. So I had to keep that in mind. So now the next Pokemon is going to be Ursaluna. Ursaluna is a big problem. This thing is going to spam Blood Moon. So I thought Farigiraf would be a good fit to swap in here because I've got some Trick Room Pokemon left. So I thought, do I go for Future Sight or do I go for Trick Room? Now they're going to use Blood Moon. That does a ton of damage to me, and I set Trick Room up. I thought that's the right thing to do. Let's go for Trick Room, and then I'll just unload a Hyper Beam at them because its special defense isn't the greatest in the world, right? In fact, it should do a ton of damage and maybe even fainted. So there's the Hyper Beam, and that's the end of Ursaluna. See, Ursaluna, that's a proper special normal move, not this weak Moonblast stuff. I mean, Blood Moon stuff. Last Pokemon is going to be the homie Terapagos, and we know they're gonna have their little terraform here. So they're just gonna go for it straight away, full up Timmy Terran me on recharge, and I'm gonna faint here. Now this either is just gonna spam Terra Starstorm, or they may set up. I was a bit worried they might set up Calm Minded against me. So I'm recharging this turn. I've got the speed advantage with the trigger. Then they use Tri Attack. I'm like, oh, okay. Fair enough, but I mean, it's still going to hurt, right? So Farigiraf is going to faint. So I've got 2 Pokemon left. I've got Giraffreak. Giraffreak doesn't do a lot of damage, though. That's the problem. It relies more on getting flinches and Salt, right? So I thought, Exeggutor, perfect, right? How about I just go for... I've got Woodhammer, go for that, and hopefully get a Citrus Berry and then Harvest, right? So I went for that great damage. Really, really good damage. Against it. This Pokemon has a lot of health, right? So I was hoping I could barely live this and then get one more Woodhammer off, and then Giraffreak could come in and get the dub, right? I live it pretty well, pretty convincingly, right? So Exeggutor's going to eat that berry in the clouds, which, no, the clouds aren't quite there, but you know, it's close to the clouds. And we're going to harvest another berry, which is really, really good. And then I harvest another berry. That's the cool thing about harvest, because you can harvest and then another berry you can harvest later. It's absolutely, I mean, you won't eat it right away, but it's still ready to get harvested. So I've got lots of health. I'm going to go for another Woodhammer here, smacking that Terapagos and taking that recoil, right? Now they've got Terra Starstorm. So Terra Starstorm's going to do a lot. It's like, this is going to be real close, whether I live this or not. And it was close, but I lived on 1 health. You wouldn't read about it, but the Trick Room run out. I was like, oh, I would have so loved to won that battle on 1 health. So that was the merch is available, people. And we got that Citrus Berry. So Citrus Berry is going to activate, and yeah, it can faint me now. But what a performance from Exeggutor, putting Terapagos on such a low amount of health there. Like, well, there's nothing I can do. It's going to outspeed me. So here comes I think they're trying to disrespect me with Tri Attack. So I thought, you know what? Since they're disrespecting me with Tri Attack, I'm going to disrespect them, right? I had the perfect disrespectful move. So we're going to bring in Giraffreak. I'm like, it's time for the King's Rock double kick Giraffreak only on Kottmeistern channel, right? And the animation is hilarious. Here we go, ready? Watch this. There's that one kick. Oh, look at that damage. And there's the second one. Now get out of here, Terapagos. That's some beautiful quality damage there. And Terapagos faints to a double kick. Only on Kottmeistern channel, people. And that is the end of the 5th battle. We have got 8 battles today, so we still got 3 more. You know, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Right now, you're learning about Pokemon and you're learning how to count. Right, it's got to be good. Next battle here. This one is against Toby. Now, this was a full team of legendary spam, the whole lot. So Rayquaza is going to be starting off here with a Hurricane, and I'll admit that did a lot more damage than what I thought. So I think they've got this one max special attack, judging on the damage and stuff there, right? So I've got Future Sight and I got Hyper Beam. I thought, let's go Future Sight. I think I can leave another Hurricane, and then I can finish it off with, say, like, maybe Hyper Beam there. But it fainted me. It didn't miss. I was kind of hoping it would miss. But that's how it goes, right? That's fine. So we're going to go to Exeggutor. So Exeggutor is going to definitely bait out a Hurricane. So I thought, well, if I can go Terrifier and set Trick Room up, or I just go Dragon Hammer and finish it off. Whoa, that animation. So Dragon Hammer almost took down the roof there. It was really, really close. It almost took that roof down. So next Pokemon's going to be Entei. Now, Entei's got some pretty good bulk to it, like defensive bulk. Now, I was like, is this going to be Terra Normal maybe? Or should it will go Sacred Fire? I don't know, but I have a nasty feeling it was going to go Sacred Fire. So I went for the Terra Fire to be able to live that. And then I thought, let's say 2 to 3 Dragon Hammers will be able to take it out, depending on what the build is, right? If it's a sweeping build, probably 2. Almost, like very, very close to a 3-hit KO, but I think I just got 2-hit KO there. So they're going to go for a Eruption. Interesting set. In comes Future Sight, and Entei's future is not going to be very bright. So that's awesome. So bye-bye Entei. So 2 legendaries down. Next Pokemon's going to be the homie Kyogre. Now, I've got Woodhammer, and I'm ready to unleash. I'm ready to unleash the beast here on Kyogre. So, they've already used their... I was thinking maybe if they go for Terra Grass or something like that, that would be able to get around that, but they didn't, and they got wrecked, right? Next Pokemon's going to be Groudon. So, the rain is going to go, and the sun is going to come. It's actually getting winter here at the moment. We're starting to go into our winter. We're in, like, late autumn here. It's probably strange for some of you because our months are completely opposite. A lot of you probably just be able to go into summer, right? Over in the US, right? Within Australia, it's like completely opposite. So we got Groudon coming in here. There's the Tibiterra, and that is going to be Terra Ground. That's a big Terra Ground. Like, look at the size of that. So they're going to go for a Terra Blast. Incredible damage there for Groudon. So I thought, all right, Tropius is a good swap in. I thought they were going to go for Precip Blades, but they didn't. So I'm going to go for Leaf Blade here. It is super effective. They've got another Eruption Pokemon. What the heck? And Tropius gets torched. Absolutely torched. So is my voice right now, not going to lie. Got to get that G Fuel. Fueling all the salt. 20% off with code SALT there, people. I'm having some what is it? Blue Bomber Mega Man. Now, I've got Leaf Blade. I'm just going to spam it, right? I was wondering what other moves that actually have. So they've got Terra Blast and Eruption. Is that really their only way of hitting me? I don't know. I thought Homie would have, like, I don't know, Fire Punch or something. I don't know. I guess none of their ground type moves are working. Now, the problem for them is they're setting up my Harvest 100% sun, like activations with the sun, right? So with Harvest, it's 50% chance normally, but with the sun up, it's 100% my berries will activate. So that was actually a really good thing that happened. So that's Groudon down. 2 more left with the legendary spammer, and now we've got a Ho-Oh. That Ho owes me money, right? So we're going to go for that. We got Fly, and there's not much outside of that. We got Fly, and that's it. So Tropius is going to go for a Fly in the sky. But watch this, right? I got completely countered because they used Sky Attack. It's like, oh, come on. So they didn't have a Power Herb, so that means I'm going to do like 2 damage to that Ho-Oh, and then Ho-Oh is going to clap my cheeks with that Sky Attack. Damn. That would have been funny if that was Power Herb, because I would have countered them, but they ended up countering me. So we got Giraffe Ring. I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can end this battle on some salt, right? We can get some. We can generate some salt here. This generated a lot of salt, so we're going to go for Beat Up here. Now bear with me. Why I beat up this Ho-Oh, right? And we're going to get some good damage here and some flinches, hopefully. So they're going to get a Sky Attack off here. I guess they don't want to hit me with a Sacred Fire. They just want to hit me with a Sky Attack. That's bad, though, because if I do get a flinch, they won't be able to attack me. I thought, I've got a pretty good chance here, because this is going to be like, what, 8 hits? Like the first 4, the next 4, it's a pretty good chance of getting a flinch in 8 hits, right? And I got one, which is nice. And that means their Sky Attack is going to get cancelled out. So I thought, all right, it's time to go for Zen Headbutt after this, right? We'll go for Zen Headbutt and finish him off. And then I sort of changed my mind. Like, let's keep going for Beat Up, bugger. I want to beat a Ho-Oh with a Beat Up Giraffe Ring. So I'm going for 4, 8, that's 12 hits. And then they finally unleashed the beast, which was Overheat. I just lived that. Very, very close. So they had that special Ho-Oh, that mixed Ho-Oh tucked away for the whole battle. So Ho's going to fade to the Zen Headbutt, and we got one more legendary left, right? Giratina. Now this Giratina looks hilarious when it floats, right? It's like it's struggling to fly. I don't know. Their wings are putting in some work. They're not even flapping. So it's floating ominously. I've got Beat Up, and I thought maybe I can get around this just with Beat Up. Is it possible I can beat this Giratina with my Giraffe Ring on like 20 health? So I'm going for plenty of beat ups here. I've only got 4, which sort of sucks. I was hoping I had a bit more, but then I had a flinch. So I was like, this is good. This is looking real promising, you know. Now I've got Exeggutor in the back with that Dragon Hammer too. Like that's going to do some good damage. So another 4 hits. I got a little critical hit in there too. And we got 4 hits overall. And I got another flinch. Like, wow, that's pretty lucky. That was only 4 hits. But then I ran out of beat-ups. So like, oh, the pressure is getting to me. So then I was like, let's go for Zen Headbutt. And unfortunately, I didn't get one. That would have been... I think they might have quit there if I got a flinch on Zen Headbutt. So that's the end of Giraffe Ring. That caused so many salty quits and rage quits. Okay, so we got a Raging Bolt coming. I was like, it's my time. I can get a Twister KO, right? But first, I need to weaken them. So I went for the Zap Cannon. It landed. And we got that paralyzed. So this is perfect. They're in range for my Twister KO. And then they get paralyzed on the same turn as well. So here we go, everyone. We got the Giratina Twister KO. Only on Pimnar Shadow. A beautiful KO there. And a nice little legendary spamming team there. So I hope they enjoyed that battle. Hope they enjoyed that Giraffe Rig. Thank you, Toby, for not DC. And let's get on to battle number 7. We've got 8 battles in today's video. This is also a random battle. This one is against, is it Chase, I think? No, Chase. Okay, so we've got an Avalug Hisuian lead here. Very nice, very nice. You don't get to see this very often. So clearly they're going to try and set something up or just go for Mountain Gale. They ended up going for a Mountain Gale. I only lived that because I was running some the health EVs. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't have lived that for sure. So I went for Twister, and Twister was like a 2-hit KO, so I was like, please faint it. And I almost did, and I didn't get a flinch. I was like, I was close. That would have been funny if I got a flinch there, because then I would have been able to go for Twister again, but it never happened. I actually don't think I ever got a flinch for Twister at all, out of the whole time I used this team. So into the Giraffe Rig. Like, someone's going to say Giraffe Rig looking kind of thick, right? So we're going to go for that Trailblaze, and Avalug's going to faint there. We got that speed up. Very, very good. So our next Pokemon's going to be Samurai, but it's not Samurai Hisuian. It's normal Samurai, like vanilla Samurai. So I've got beat up, I got Trailblaze, and I got Zen Headbutt. I thought I'll go for power here, because Samurai's, it's got some decent bulk, and I just want to get some damage on it. And then I got a flinch. I was like, that's really good. Really, really good. I don't think I ever got a flinch on Double Kick, but I believe I got a flinch on Trailblaze like once or twice, which was pretty funny. So essentially it was like a free speed boost when you when you went for a ride. So I got them 5 hits from beat up there, and I got another flinch. This poor Samurai. It's getting flinched. I couldn't help myself here. I thought I'm going to go for beat up again. So now they salty swap the Samurai out. I don't blame them. And then they went into Goodra, which is not Goodra, it's Bandra. So I thought, if I go for beat up here, that's going to give me 5 gooeys in a row. And it is going to be terrible. They counted me. So they got that Goodra Hisuian. So I'm going to go for that double kick. So I'm going to show you guys. We got that gooey. So, currently Giraffe Rig is getting slime all over its hooves, So we got a couple of double kicks there. Quality damage against the Goodra. And it's going to go for Iron Head. So Iron Head does a lot of damage. Like, definitely an offensive set. So I'm going to swap Giraffe Rig out. I don't want to sack it yet, I've got -3 in speed. I thought, we'll go into Tropius, and then we can get the dub with Earthquake. That's going to be a good idea, yeah? So we got that Iron Head. It's a 3-hit KO, probably 4 with the Citrus. So I'm going to go for Earthquake. They swapped out, which was interesting. I don't know why did they expect an Earthquake, and then they swapped in Iron Moth. I'm like, no, they didn't expect it. This is bad. This is super bad. Little homie Iron Moth's family tree is about to get deleted. So that's gone. I'm glad I didn't have to. I was really, really worried about that, because that was when you think about my team, that was a whopping counter to my team. So I'm glad that was gone. Next Pokemon is a Turtis, another pretty good counter to my team as well. I've got Earthquake, though. This team is actually a bit weak to Earthquake when you look at them. Look at, Eternatus, Iron Thorns, Goodra, Hisuian. They're all weak to it. 4 of the Pokemon on their team. So I was contemplating here whether to swap back into Giraffe Rig or not. It's I'll just sack it off, It's fine. And if they go for, maybe Cosmic Power, I guess I'll try and go for Zen Headbutt. I don't know what sort of set they were going to bring anyway. So back into Giraffe Rig, and they're going to go for Sludge Bomb. So no great loss there. Giraffe Rig sort of did its job already, so that's all good. I was happy to swap that, swap that in there. So I thought a fresh swap in for Meganium would be great, because now this is going to enable me to press that advantage with Earthquake and Terra Ground. And why this won't take a Turtis out of one shot, it'll definitely be a 2-hit KO. Plus, I'll be able to resist those poison moves too. Plus, I've already got Assault Vest, so it's not going to be doing a lot of damage. But it may even go Flamethrower as well. There are some options what it's going to do there. So here comes the Sludge Bomb. Nothing. Beautiful stuff there. Beautiful stuff. So now I can go for Earthquake. I could see the damage here. 3/4 maybe around there. And it was about that. Around 3/4 after the Black Sludge recovery there. So this is really, really good. So they're going to have to lose to Eternatus or swap into another Pokemon. So I don't think they want to lose their best Pokemon on their team. And now they're going to go back into Samurai. So I thought, well, that's still good because that won't live. There's no way that's going to live. I guess they were maybe hoping to live that and then come in and use like a water move against me and faint me, but no way that's living. Not with Terra Ground and Adamantation. So bye-bye Samurai. Now, they've a bit of a problem here because they've got Goodra and they've got Eternatus, which are both weak to ground. So Meowscarlet is definitely going to go for a Flower Trick here. I was like, that's going to be a good swap in for Tropius. And then I could go maybe for a Dragon Dance and then maybe a Fly. But they went for Foul Play instead, so I didn't expect that. So Foul Play is going to use my attack stat. And, well, I mean, it's not going to do a lot of damage to Tropius, that's for sure. So Tropius now should be able to live this unless Meowscarlet has like triple axle. That was a big worry as well, whether they had triple axle or not. So now I can go for Leaf Blade because at least it is neutral now. Foul Play is not going to faint me. I was thinking about doing Dragon Dance, but then I changed my mind. I thought they may have Sucker Punch as well. But I mean, they had Foul Play, but I was like, are they going to have both? I didn't want to take the risk. I thought it was better just getting some damage on this thing, right? Plus, I was getting healed up by Harvest anyway, so it was pretty good. I was countering their Foul Play damage. Interesting, Foul Play Meowscarlet. So they're going to have to swap out. They're getting completely walled by Tropius, right? And they're going to bring in a Eternatus. So I've got Earthquake on this thing. This is good. This is real good, right? This is excellent stuff. So Tropius is going to go for a Leaf Blade. They are going to resist that. I mean, let's be real. Black Sludge is going to recover that. Like the damage I did that like 5 times, right? Maybe not 5 times, like 3 times. So I've got Earthquake. I'm like, all right, what are you going to do? Swap in again another Pokemon, and then they outspend me and Flamethrower me. It's like, okay, fair. You know, there's not much I could have swapped into anyway. The critical hit did not matter there. Tropius definitely would have died. Eternatus has like a ton of special attack. So they're still kind of in the same predicament as before. I've got a Pokemon with Earthquake, so I thought, if I go Earthquake now, or I go for, let's say I go for Earthquake again, it's still going to do some decent damage to Meowscarlet. And when they lose Meowscarlet, they're going to have to take an Earthquake. But I think they're trying to like get my health down low before that happens. So using Earthquake again on the Meowscarlet, it still does some damage. But I know they're going to have Flower Trick. I absolutely know they're going to have that. And if I get hit by Flower Trick, that's going to hit really, really hard. So I went into Farigiraf. I thought this is probably the most expendable Pokemon at the moment. And we've got that Flower Trick there. So our Flower Trick will hit me really hard. And it did about half my health. I am running max health, so I was able to lift that pretty well. So I've got Trick Room, I thought would be good. And I've got Hyper Beam. But I thought I could use Hyper Beam here. I don't think they're going to swap into one of the other Pokemon. They could go into Goodra, but I doubt it. So they're going to go for Foul Play here. That's not doing a lot of damage to me, and I can finish them off the Hyper Beam. So that's good. So that Pokemon cannot swap into Earthquakes anymore. So I've got them down to 2 more Pokemon, which is Goodra and the Eternatus, right? So I'm going to be recharging this turn, and they're going to bring in their Goodra, which is going to go for a Dragon Pulse, and you know, of course that's going to faint me. So that was like a mixed attacker, which is fine. So I've got Exeggutor left, which can actually take out both these Pokemon. This is good, right? Because I've got coverage against both. So I thought I can leave a Dragon Pulse. Unless there's a critical hit, it could be nasty, but if I get Trick Room up, that way I can outspeed the Goodra. Yeah, that would have taken him out easy with a critical hit. Easy peasy. So I've got Trick Room up, and then I can outspeed Eternatus and Goodra at the same time. Well, I'm hoping I can outspeed Goodra. Goodra's a pretty slow Pokemon too. So I was hoping that I could outspeed it. And then, you know, I could go for the Dragon Hammer on the Eternatus. That'd be an easy way to finish this battle off. In case I got, you know, some bad luck with Meganum. So Dragon Hammer on both is going to be the go here. And they gooeyed me. So that's fine. I mean, it's not like Eternatus would have outsped me in the Trick Room anyway. So the last Pokemon on their team is going to be the Eternatus. It's only got a slither of health left there. And, you know, they've only got, what, one? I don't think they've ever, no, they haven't Terra. So I thought, all right, this is usually Terra Poison. And I was thinking, even if they do live this badly, I've still got Meganium to come in, unless they get I don't know. Even if maybe they'll try a run at recover, or I don't really know at this point. I was doubting they'll live it. So Dragon Hammer is enough to take them out, and that is the end of the Eternatus. So, and that is the end of the 7th battle. Man, this has been a long video today. We're over the hour mark now. And thank you to my random opponent. We've got one more battle here to finish off today's video. Is anyone still here watching the video over an hour? Are you? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoy it, hit that like button, people. Give me a comment. Tell me your favorite long neck Pokemon. Give me a comment. Just how's your day going? What's going on? I love to reply to you guys in the comment section. And let's have a look at this 8th battle. This is a battle against Bevel with Pickles, and we have a team here. We got a Pikachu called now. Some of these nicknames, do not search them up in Google. Do not search these up, all right? Viewer discretion is advised. Do not search them up, like especially that Urban Dictionary site. Now, Farigiraf is going to get beaten by a Pikachu, so I've got to swap that out, and we're going to go into Raging Bolt. Because I had an idea. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can feint the Pikachu with the Twister, right? I was like, this is gonna be content, right? It's gonna be some soul, right? Now I've got Twister. I did contemplate going for a Calm Mind, but I thought, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I want to see if I can feint it with this a straight up Twister. So Pikachu actually had a luring voice, and it did a little bit less than what I thought, but Future Sight still feinted. That was a crit. That totally mattered. So that's the end of Pikachu. This is a team based on my my Nuzlocke series as well. So the next Pokemon is going to be Medicham. I don't know why that's called Medicham, no idea. And Blaziken's going to go for an Aura Sphere, so it's a special set. I actually managed to get a Zap Cannon miss there, so this Zap Cannon is going to give me a +2 in speed, so I'll be able to try and beat the Blaziken. So I contemplated going for Twister here. I thought maybe I can get a flinch, or maybe I should go for some Zap Cannon damage, but it had Vacuum Wave. So Raging Volt got vacuumed. It got vacuumed up by Blaziken. He was doing that morning cleaning spree. So we're going to bring it back in Farigiraf. I'm confident I can barely live in an Aura Sphere, and plus my ability stops Vacuum Wave. So I've got Future Sight and I got Hyper Beam. I thought Future Sight would be a good idea to go for because it's going to land hard on one Pokemon, So we got that Future Sight, and Farigiraf's future is not going to be very bright after it gets hit by another one. So I was looking through my team, I thought I could go into Tropius here, but that's probably not a good idea because it could go for a Fire-type move, and then I swap into a Fire-type move. That'd be terrible. So I let Farigiraf go there. Now we're going to go to Giraffrig. So this is the Salt set, and I needed to try and generate some soul, So I got Zen Headbutt, I got Trailblaze. So I went for Trailblaze. I outsped the Blaziken. This is obviously it's a Blaziken, and it did have a fire move, so it's going to use over. Holy smokes, that's the end of Giraffrig. So poor Giraffrig, it's not going to flinch anyone today. So this is looking bad, real bad. Here comes the Future Sight and Medicham. Oh, the Blaziken, not Medicham. Why is that called Medicham for? I have no idea. So that's the end of Blaziken, right? That's good. That was a threat actually. So we're going to bring in Exeggutor here. Now, we got that Trick Room and another Moltres. No. Oh, wait, no, it's Talonflame. I was like, after that first battle with Moltres, I got, this is no cat, right? When I did this team, you hardly ever see Moltres, right? It's not very used, but the moment I used this team, people came out of the woodwork. Every second battle had a Moltres in it. I'm not even joking, right? It was crazy. So, this is sort of like Temu Moltres anyway, or Moltres is Temu Talonflame. They're sort of different Pokemon, though, even though they're typings. Or they're similar sort of role there. So it's going to be a bulk up Talonflame. Now, I'm trying to get some damage here on this Talonflame, but it's not going to work very well. Now, I do have Terrafire, but I'm sure it's got some other flying move, so I wasn't 100% sure whether I wanted to waste that or not. So I'm going for Dragon Hammer here, and it's got Roost. So it's got Bulk Up and Roost. This is very bad. This is like deja vu from the first battle of that Moltres. They both had Roost. At this point, I was like, man, I never want to see a Moltres, or I never want to see a Fire and Flying Roost Pokemon for a long time, right? So I'm hoping for a Sympathy crit here on the Talonflame, And this thing has got so many bulk up. I know that it's going to be a troll move. I was like, is this going to be like friggin' Peck or something like that? I don't want to lose to Peck. Talonflame has got the leftovers, which is going to bring it back over half health. And I really, there's not much I can do here. I'm just going for the crit. I'm spamming Dragon Hammer. It's the best I can do. So I think at this stage, I think this had 3 or 4 up in attack and defense. So I needed to hit it with a special move. I definitely did. Unfortunately, I'd lost Farigiraf already too. I unfortunately lost that. So I had to rely on some other Pokemon. So now Moltres is going to use, and Talonflame is going to use Fly in the sky. So it's going to avoid that attack. So it's got Fly, Roost, and Leftovers, and Bulk Up. It sort of reminds me of a set that I had on some other Pokemon. So Fly obviously is going to fake my Exeggutor. There's not much I can do about that. So I've got Tropius left. And where else have I got left? I've got Meganium left. That's it. That's all I've got left. I guess I could have Tropius here and try and counter this with my own Fly. And I thought I could do that. Like, maybe they go Fly, then I'll go Fly. I can counter their set, right? And then they won't be able to take me. I don't know what other moves it's got, but I might be able to cause a swap here. So we both flew into the sky. There's no Pokemon, and the Fly from Talonflame is gonna miss. And I can actually land attacks on the Talonflame. Not that they're gonna do a lot of damage, but at least I can dodge all attacks. But I don't know what the other move was on there. I was like, is it not a fire move? What exactly is it? So I've got Fly again. Now we got the Moltres swapping out. I mean, the Talonflame swapping out. And the next Pokemon I got is going to be Mega Bridge. I was like, oh, wait, this is Archaludon. It's Archaludon, yeah. It's Archaludon. So I went for a D-Dance here. I needed to do something. I had to come in clutch. I was like, maybe I need some attack and speed boost myself, you know. Now, Archaludon's typically probably going to counter me, but I do have Earthquake, which is going to be good. Now, is this going to be enough to faint? I was like, yeah, probably not. It's going to live this pretty well. And it did. It was like a 3-hit KO, and it's got stamina as well. So, this is very bad. Then he used Metal Burst. I'm like, oh, no. But, I've got the Citrus Berry, and I'm able to live that attack. So, I thought here, maybe I could go for Dragon Dance, and then go for Earthquake again. But then they may be inclined to go for a different attacking. Like, I don't know what other attacking move it would, it could have, because it could have, like, quite a few of them. But then I thought maybe I should just keep attacking it instead of like going for Dragon Dance and then just dying, because I might miss out on some damage. So I went for Earthquake anyway, and yeah, it still put it on a low amount of health. So I was happy with that. And it's like, is it going to use Metal Burst again, or is it? And then it used. See, that was a good play there. So if I went for Dragon Dance, it would have been on still half of its health. So I'm glad I did that. My next Pokemon is Meganium, and this is actually my last Pokemon too. The Talonflame was clapping my cheeks, right? So we got Terra Ground still to go, and it's going to use Metal. The thing about Metal Burst is it's not negative priority, so I was able to get around that pretty nicely. So bye-bye Archaludon. That was good, right? That was very, very good. I was actually I don't know how I outsped that. I wasn't minimum speed. I don't think I had any. I think it wasn't 31 in speed. It was like high 20s or something. Next Pokemon is Picklenair, which is a Dragonair. So let's get rid of that Everlight, right? Because I know it's gonna have it. Now it's gonna use Thunder Wave. So this is like gonna be like one of those pain in the backside sets where you're like paralyzed, and then you probably get like infatuated and all this sort of stuff. I would personally never use one of these sets. You guys know that, right? So I was a little bit salty because I could have gone for a Terra Ground there and got around the Thunder Wave. So I was kind of salty I didn't do that already, because like if I Terra Ground on this turn and then the Thunder Wave happened, it would have been beautiful. But the bad thing is it's got Water Pulse too. I'm like, oh no, it's Parafusion. If Water Pulse confuses me. So it's also got Twister as well. So I think I might have run a set like this before. I feel like I have. So you got Thunder Wave to paralyze, you got Water Pulse for confusion, and then you have Twister for flinch. It's a complete like scummy set. So Dragonair somehow lives on 1 HP and gets a Water Pulse off. And then I got paralyzed. I'm like, I don't want to lose to like a Dragonair on 1 health with Water Pulse and Twister. So here comes another Water Pulse. I'm hoping I don't get clapped. I was like, come on, attack. And I went went for a disrespect pedal blizzard there. I had to do that, you know. You got to troll the trolls back sometimes. So that's the end of Dragonair. And the last Pokemon left is Moltres. So I know this has Fly, and I know that it has Bulk Up, but what else does it have here? Like, I was like thinking, like, what other moves does this possibly have? Has it got a fire move, or is it just going to bulk up and use fly? So at this stage, I went for knockoff. I thought that was a good idea, and I got a fat crit. I was like, whoa, that's really good. I can possibly feint this the next turn, maybe. But I went for Earthquake because I thought they would go for Roost here. Because if they went for Roost, they would turn into a pure fire type. Or would they remove... Sorry, they'd move their flying type, right? And then they'd be fire. So I thought that'd be really, really good to go for that. Or it would at least be able to hit them. But they went for the Terra Grass, Terra Blast. And that is the end of Meganium. And that's also the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed all these battles. It was a long video. If you could drop a like, people, after the effort I put in, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.